If you're just joining us, I am Ansley Sutterth. I provide social media training and communications to great people like you with ForRent Media Solutions. We are so happy to have you today, and we are going to talk a little bit about how you can make a high impact on a low budget. And really you can scale it according to your budget. You know, a budget of $10,000 might be high or low to you. So according to, what you have allotted for your 2013-2014 marketing budget, we're going to show you some ways that you can make that work for you. This is a topic that most of you can relate to, and it's really going to answer the question, how do I get the biggest bang out of my marketing bucks? This is a question that many of us face, and it's really hard to forecast, what our budget should look like for the upcoming new year when we don't know what worked and what didn't work for this past year. So we can kind of go in and delve into how you can figure those type of things out. So before I get started, we are using the hashtag FRMSchat. You see that in the lower left-hand corner of your screen there, and we are on Twitter. We are active on Twitter right now, interacting with you. So if you have any kind of feedback or questions, or maybe you just have some insight you want to share, feel free to use the hashtag, and one person will be selected to receive a whopping $20 gift card. So that could be you, and we'll announce the winner at the end of the session. So if you are the lucky winner, that would be great if you could evangelize, for next month's webinar. Invite your friends. If this is something that you feel like you could take away again next month, invite your friends to do the same. The more, the merrier. So before I go over our agenda, I kind of want to explain why we talk about social media every month. And social media positions you to establish a brand presence online. But how do you get started? Well, FR Social is a social marketing tool made easy for your branding purposes. And what this is going to do is not only concentrate on the management of your social, so how you can post to Facebook and Twitter. It's going to help you with your advertising. It's going to give you that added promotion and brand exposure to apartment shoppers out there who are just waiting to be acquainted with your brand, with your property. Another thing that FR Social is going to do for you is it's going to help you with social listening, online listening, and reputation management. Now, we all have, heard the term reputation management time and time again, and in the multifamily space, it's so important to really keep your eyes and ears open online because you want to make sure that your brand, that your property is being placed in the most positive light possible, and we want to safeguard your brand as much as possible. Since you're a client of ours, we care about your brand as well, and we want you to be highlighted by great, 3-star or higher ratings and reviews. So FR Social can not only help your branding, it can help your social listening, online engagement, and everything like that. So if you're interested in learning more about FR Social, this might be, your first FRMS webinar, FRMS chat that you're sitting on. If this is something that interests you, go ahead and feel free to get in touch with your ForRent rep, and we can help you out with that. Let's get into the meat of the agenda. First, I'm going to show you how to channel your inner social media ninja. And then we're going to talk about implementing some cost savings trends and techniques. And then I'll share and explain some social channels that offer some really great and free tools that you could otherwise be paying for, and you may not even know that you could be utilizing these tools for free. That way you can free up some of those costs that your budget was formerly eating up. Then we'll talk about and tweet out a few valuable links that we always like to share with you. So be on the lookout for those. We'll be sharing those again on hashtag FRMSchat. And then we're going to wrap things up with some Q&A. Like I said, I want to remind you that there are two ways you can ask questions today and share your feedback. The first way is by using the GoToWebinar questions box, like I mentioned earlier. I can see those questions come in real time, and I'll most likely address your questions as I go through, but you know, if there's any other type of feedback, we can address those toward the end. And another way that you can share your feedback is following along with us on Twitter. Use the hashtag you see in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, and our FR Social expert is on Twitter live chatting with you right now. We want to make this as informational and interactive as possible, so feel free to use the hashtag, otherwise we won't see your feedback or your tweet. And then we can I'll jump onto Twitter after the webinar, and I can do some more Q&A with you if that's necessary. So it's time to do a little role play. Believe it or not, each of you has an inner social media ninja just waiting to make a debut. Now, stretching your marketing dollars is not all about being crafty and stealthy like a ninja when it comes to being on social media. It's also about knowing what you can do on your own and what you can't afford to do on your own. So it's kind of weighing this benefit of, you know, what can I do on my own versus what paid service do I need to implement into my budget and marketing strategy. It's also about evaluating your surroundings, in our case, the social space, the social arena, and making adjustments to acclimate to your surroundings. When I think of this type of mindset, I think of the characteristics of a ninja. A ninja is always timely, always anticipating the next move, and is constantly mastering his or her craft. In order to be a social media ninja, the first thing you must do is ensure you have the right tools to be savvy and effective as a marketer. So make sure you're having the right marketing weaponry. This means that conducting a social media audit or a marketing audit is oftentimes necessary to know what's lacking in your marketing tool belt. By conducting an audit, you'll also uncover certain unnecessary services that may be draining your marketing spend, and you won't know unless you dig through and look at your behavior as a marketer. Look at your behavior as someone who is in charge of the social media and see what is working and see what's not. That's an audit. Don't think of an audit as this really in-depth, complex, meticulous process. It can just even be benchmarking the last 6 months and seeing what worked and what didn't work and cutting what didn't work. That's as simple as that. Now, as many of you know, and as many of us are in the middle of budget season, it's in full effect. We can't get away from it. You know, 2014 is right around the corner. And now is the time to reevaluate your marketing plan and ensure that you're maximizing those budgeting dollars. In ForRent Media Solutions, we've got your back. We offer product enhancements that will help you reach more renters and stay ahead of your competitors in the coming new year, while being budget friendly to you. We always think about, you know, what is this going to cost our client? How can we scale it back but still give the maximum, you know, product for their dollar? And we could all benefit from tools that offer more traffic and boost retention, right? I'm sure we all could use something like that. Of course we could. Well, you can discover more about these product enhancements from ForRent Media Solutions by visiting bit.ly/FRMS Discover. That's http://bit.ly, so bit.ly/FRMS Discover. Or you can contact your local ForRent rep if you can't remember that mouthful of a link, and get in contact with them today for more information. But if you're on Twitter, follow the hashtag. We have just tweeted that link out to you, so you can click it and get some more information. All right, moving right along. Once you have found out, you know, what works within your marketing tool belt, what you are really geared up with as far as weaponry goes. Once you've conducted that audit and have uncovered the things that are draining your marketing budget and have replaced them with tools that are within your marketing budget, it's time to build up that marketing flexibility and agility. Think of a way that a ninja moves in the shadows. We've all seen movies of, ninjas flipping over walls and scaling walls and, doing these acrobatically almost impossible feats. And envision how reactive you must be online in comparison. It's almost the same. The social space is evolving and growing exponentially. And as marketers, it's our job to be able to be flexible and agile when it comes to not only our marketing efforts, but the amount of money that we spend with those initiatives. And as the person in charge of social media and the budget, the worst thing you can do to your brand is to be stagnant with the products and services you use. What may have worked 5 years ago, even as far as 6 months ago, more than likely may not work in today's social space. So as the person in charge of your marketing spend, you're constantly having to evaluate and reevaluate what's working and what's not. Really, the rule of thumb here is if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? It's like if something's working for you, if you're getting great leads and everything from, ForRent Media Solutions or whatever you're using, probably keep that in place. But there might be some other things that you could tweak to allow you to be a more effective and more agile marketer. The next characteristic of a social media ninja is to take on an unconventional way of thinking. This is going to free up the monotony and really allow you to shift from a traditional mode of marketing. So think outside of the box. I challenge you to be a marketer who not only thinks outside of the box, you're living outside of the box. You're constantly trying to figure out what trends are ahead of the curve. You're constantly challenging your associates and your team members to have brainstorming sessions to see what is working, what maybe resident events you could promote, something that's never been done before. Sure, it may be a little scary at first, but the only thing that's holding you back are those old marketing strategies that ate up your budget and gave you a horrible ROI in the first place. So if you could kick that to the curb, which I'm sure you're voluntarily doing that, you could really learn how to live outside of the box. I mean, after all, who created this proverbial box anyway? So really try to take it a step ahead, and instead of just stepping outside of the box from time to time, I challenge you to maintain and live outside of the box. If you're not quite sure how to market outside of the box, that's okay. It takes baby steps. Implementing marketing trends yourself is a great way to begin to see results and save $1. In marketing, it's all about working smarter, not harder. Often we tend to overcomplicate our marketing initiatives, which in turn drain our budget. And it's this kind of cyclical effect that we can't really figure out how to have a handle on it, right? Well, one way to avoid that from happening is by simplifying the process. Just dumb it down. Just scale it back and take a big breath. What we do in marketing is we always over-process things. Simplify the process by executing some grassroots efforts that you can handle on your own. One of the ways you can simplify and really go the grassroots route is by using cross promotions to promote your brand. We've talked about cross promotions before, but if this is your first time joining us, cross promotions may involve, 2 or more companies working together in promoting a service or a product in a way that's symbiotic. It's going to benefit both parties or whoever is involved. When you partner with a local business, say maybe the local deli around the corner, or say that the local laundromat or dry cleaners around the corner is going to give your property's residents a 10% discount or a punch card every time they come. That's cross-promotional marketing. It's one of the most symbiotic ways to bring recognition to your brand while offering some type of incentive to residents and prospects. And again, scale it according to your budget. If you want to cross promote with one local business and see how that plays out, do that. If you want to do something like this and have all the food trucks in your city come to your community and just set up shop and let your residents know, do that. I have yet to see a property connect with the local food trucks in their city, and we all know this whole food truck craze is taking cities by storm. It's about this whole movement of promoting local, fund and support your local businesses. And one way to stay on trend with this whole food truck movement is to have a cross-promotional campaign that allows residents to taste the food from local vendors. Now, again, this is all about scalability. If you don't have the bandwidth to host multiple food trucks in your community, if it's going to cause a traffic jam, maybe you just want to invite the local cupcake van to your property, right? It's according to how you can scale it, how much room you have, and how much time you have to devote to this. But really all it requires is a few phone calls. I call it Twitter stalking. Post in the hashtag food trucks in your local city and see what food truck vendors pop up. Maybe you could follow them like them on Facebook or follow them on Instagram, and maybe you could send them a message or DM them, direct message them on Twitter and say, you know what, we'd love to have you come to our community and, let people know how great your food tastes. Try one food truck out and see how it works with the parking situation. See if you can block off a piece of your green and have that be where people kind of mingle and talk and nosh on some great food. It's all about implementing a cross-promotional plan like this. It's going to require more heavy lifting on the part of the food trucks more than it's going to require heavy lifting on your end. So it's really a win-win. If a food truck is struggling to get notable people to eat their food or notoriety or publicity, this is a great opportunity for not only them to get some love, but when you are all about promoting local and this hyper-local movement and this food truck movement, this is something that's really going to really set you apart from your competitors. This is an example of a shopping center in Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta, so you'll see a lot of my examples from Atlanta that hosts a weekly event called Food Truck Fridays. Atlantic Station, if you're from Atlanta, you're familiar. And the turnout here is incredible. The brand promotion is highly visible, and the word of mouth and word of mouse, because best believe people are Instagramming photos of their food. This type of content is exponential. And associate yourself with an event like this. Create a really simple maybe image through PicMonkey. PicMonkey is a completely free asset that you can upload a photo and pop some content and verbiage over it and tweet that joker out. Instagram that out, share that image on Facebook, on Twitter, and align yourself with one or two food trucks. And if you can't have a food truck Friday every week, maybe do one once a month and host it on a Friday where you can have it every fourth Friday. So a play on alliteration, something like this, a recurring event, is not only going to benefit you, but it's going to indirectly give you this brand exposure that something like only food can do. And providing an experience like Food Truck Friday, for example, for your residents, not only helps promote your brand for free, it's going to convert hungry residents into full, satisfied brand ambassadors. And what you see here in the slide is just a hashtag. I've always encouraged you guys to create property-specific hashtags, custom hashtags that reflect your property. I don't know who City Points Apartments is. I just created it today. But if you can create a hashtag that is specific to your property, you can plug that with a Food Truck Friday hashtag. So not only are you getting, again, that brand exposure, your residents know that they should be using these hashtags. And I will promise you, I know I'm not the only one who, before I even put my food into my mouth, I'll take a picture of it and I'll share it on Instagram. And your residents are doing the same thing. So take this kind of consumer behavior, you know, this whole need to share every experience that we are participating in, even down to the fact that we're about to eat a tuna fish sandwich, and take advantage of it. Just to piggyback, I'm hungry now. I can't even move on. But just to piggyback on the cross promotions trend, creating a referral campaign can be great for your marketing budget because it gives you a large ROI. It's going to give you a large return for a small investment. And just by maybe if you want to chat us or tweet us, I want to know how many of you guys are using some type of referral system at your property. Now, if you're not, it's really not that hard to get started with the one. It's literally all about telling a friend to tell a friend, or tell a resident to tell a friend. And when you tell a resident that they can receive a prize or some type of monetary reward or maybe a gift card for spreading the word about your property to their apartment hunting friends, that gives them a challenge and a call to act. Remember, we've talked about call to actions before and how powerful they can be, giving your residents and your audience a job to do. You'll be so surprised as to how many people will answer that call to action and fulfill it. If you can dish out even $500 to even down to $100 or $50, again, scale it according to how much marketing spend you have. But if you could dish out a certain amount of money for a return of a signed 12-month lease, think about how much money is within that 12-month lease. Now, once you get that little idea wrapped around your head, you will be able to find some type of money to give to a resident if they're going to in return, serve up one of their friends that has just signed a 12-month lease. That's no longer, you know, a vacant apartment home that you have to pay for. That's no longer utilities you have to pay for. So think of that in terms of, all right, if I have to convince my higher ups that a referral program is important, this is the value add. We can find within our budget some type of monetary reward to give our residents if they in return give us somebody who has just signed a 12-month lease. That's definitely going to benefit your marketing spend and keep you in the green. We have someone that's just chatted with us that they are offering their residents $350 for a referral by them that moves them in, and they also offer businesses and former residents a $250 referral that moves in. That's a great point, Nancy. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I didn't even think about this, but this is a great idea. If you can even implement a referral program that not only offers an incentive to your residents, maybe you could even reward your former residents or local businesses that refer people to your property. Say like you go around and maybe just canvas, remember we're talking grassroots here, just get in your car, canvas the local 10-mile radius of where you are. That is not far of a drive. And just pop into your local businesses and say, hey, if you can refer your customers to us, here's a little kickback. That's a great point. Thank you for sharing that, Nancy. Another person shared that they do offer rent money for rent off for residents and gift cards to neighbors at their community. Again, we're all talking about cost savings here, right? If you can't pay out a resident, maybe you could give them a discount on that next month's rent. Maybe they could, you could chop off 10, 20, 30, 50% off, even that whole month off if they can serve up a friend or family member that is looking for an apartment home and has just signed a 12-month lease. So again, scale it according to your budget. If you can't pay out, take a discount off. These are all great ideas. Thank you so much for sharing, Kelly. Another great part of the referral program is if you get a little visually creative and create cards or flyers to hand out to your residents when they come into the office. If it's not in your budget to print out the collateral, maybe you have a budget that you can't even afford and give a dime to the printer, because the local printer in your neighborhood, because that is not part of your marketing budget. Maybe you could take that same exact image and share it on Instagram or post it as a Facebook post on Facebook, or share it as a pin on Pinterest. There are tons of ways, you guys, that we're thinking outside of the box. Not only are we thinking outside of the box, we are living outside of the box. And if you can't pay for printing, go ahead and share that on your social networks, and you will be surprised as to how much publicity and promotion you get with your images. Another way that is a grassroots effort as far as saving money goes is surveys. What better way to gain insight on the wants and the needs of your residents than by conducting a survey? I know what you're thinking. Surveys cost money. Well, reality check, they don't. Not all of them, at least. You may think it costs money to run a survey, but there are a plethora of tools out there like SurveyMonkey for one. That's SurveyMonkey if you want to write that down and Google it. SurveyMonkey will uncover the wants and the needs of your residents just as well as paying a vendor who provides this kind of service. So don't let people pull the wool over your eyes and just say that you have to pay for everything. You don't. There are some things that you can't afford to not pay for. There are some things that you should be paying for if you want to get the most, take the advantage, and especially when it comes to social listening and getting an edge over your competitors. But as far as something like this, like asking your residents a few questions, just use SurveyMonkey for that. And there's even a way that you can use the SurveyMonkey app and ask questions through an app on your Facebook page. Did you know that you can ask questions via SurveyMonkey as an app on your Facebook timeline? Well, now you know. This is an example of a property who loaded the SurveyMonkey app to their Facebook page, and residents can actually fill out the survey through the Facebook app. So you're keeping all the traffic on your Facebook page, and you can share the link to that. All Facebook apps have a link that you can share. So once you get this app loaded, once you get all of your questions in line, maybe you should run a campaign, and the next time you send out an email blast or an e-blast to your residents, ask them to fill out the survey on your Facebook page. You see a few questions, and I think this actual survey has maybe 10, but the screenshot just allowed for me to get the first 3 questions. You see, how is the parking? Noise. Is the noise a serious problem? To very quiet. So we're using scalability here on a scale of 1 to 5. How are the grounds? Is the landscaping poor and needs upkeep? Are the grounds a thing of beauty? Again, you can even inject some of your property's personality here. And SurveyMonkey is a great tool to allow you to do that. And social, as far as social media goes, you don't have to go door to door like the census and ask people questions, right? You can actually implement these questions through social media, through your Facebook page. And after you run this survey, after you collect all these questions and answers, you can repackage the insights that you gain and turn that info into marketing tools like an infographic. Maybe you can turn that info into a really easy to follow infographic in your next month's, in your property's newsletter. What you see here could be a compilation of wants and needs of your residents. Maybe you could tally that up and put a percentage on it, get a really easy to see graphic, and pop all these really cool stats that are centric and specific to your property, and serve those up in a newsletter or in a flyer and post that around your property. This is really going to tell your residents that not only are you listening, but you're sharing these insights with them. So this is going to save you money, and also share with your residents that we hear you. We are wanting to meet your needs, and we are evaluating your needs versus your wants here. Your property's social presence can be built and maintained with as little as 10 minutes a day, believe it or not. Yes, 10 minutes a day or even less. It's all about how you want to address social on a day-to-day basis. So by taking social media into your own hands, not only do you control your brand messaging, you will create a direct line and conversational line to your audience. With all of the social channels out there, it can get a little clunky, it can get a little loud, it can get a little cluttered, and it can be a little tricky to figure out which channel is right fit for your property. The last thing I want you to do here is look at all these social channels and think you need to be on every single one, because that's not the case, especially if you're starting out with social for the first time. I'm going to go over some of the social networks that you probably should begin building a brand presence. And Facebook is probably one of the most crucial social networks to be on, just because it's currently the most popular and heavily used social sites according to Statista. Again, that's debatable according to who you speak to. Different demographics are using different networks, but we're seeing for the most part people that are apartment shoppers and apartment dwellers are present and will remain present on Facebook. They're not going anywhere. And the great thing about Facebook is that it is a robust social media offering that has just recently been tweaked and built to cater to not only people but to brands now. So it's going to help you optimize your brand presence. It's going to help you with Facebook graph search. We've talked about that before, and really pinpoint and customize your search experience. You can run contests on Facebook. We have a Facebook contest that you can run where we give away an iPad every month for our customers. So if you're not utilizing the iPad contest sweepstakes, feel free to get with your ForRent rep and ask them about it. Not only with Facebook can you create content, can you run contests, you can even be an event planner. You don't have to hire an event planner. You can create events on your Facebook page and share them and create a buzz in the social space about your upcoming Halloween costume contest that I hope you will be hosting, and I hope you Instagram photos of that. Again, Facebook is a great tool to utilize, and from a marketing standpoint, The tools Facebook offers are extremely informational in terms of audience demographic and content breakdown. If this is what you see here is Facebook Insights. And Facebook Insights is a free feature within Facebook that helps you pinpoint what content is getting high numbers of engagement and who it's appealing to in your audience. It even breaks down gender and age. So what you see here is, for the most part, women between the ages of 25 and 44 are going to be active users on Facebook, and that's reflective just because socially it appears as though, and we don't have a hard statistic for this, but just because of consumer behavior, we've seen that females are more engaged and more conversational, whereas males kind of troll a little bit more and lurk. No offense to you guys out there, but that's just kind of consumer behavior. Women really, just because we have an innate sense of wanting to connect and create conversation, and we're just a little bit more chatty creatures, that's going to be the case in the social space as well. So really, if you haven't visited your Facebook Insights, it's going to be in your admin panel on your Facebook timeline. So if you go to your Facebook, your brand or your property's Facebook page, pop open that Insights dashboard. That's going to be your mission control as far as Facebook is concerned. You can see all of your new likes come in there. You'll see all of the messages that people have sent to you behind the scenes, and you can open your Facebook Insights and really play around in there. We have a training on Facebook Insights. If you're wanting to learn a little bit more about that, I can get with you after the webinar and share that link out to that recording that we did on Facebook Insights. But this is something that's going to help you and really serve up analytics that you otherwise could be paying for and not even know it for free. Instagram. Who loves Instagram? I love Instagram. I know some of you out there love Instagram, and Instagram eliminates the need to pay for a graphic designer, because you can take your community's photos and create visually engaging photos, and now you can create 15-second videos. Mind blown, right? We all love Facebook, Instagram videos, and you can share this content with the touch of a button. And now we know that Facebook owns Instagram, so whenever you share a photo or a video, you can even have that port over to your Facebook timeline. So now not only are you saving money, you're saving time, because you can kill two birds with one stone here. Also, as almost every social network out there is going to utilize hashtags, which, shameless plug, I want to be seeing you guys use hashtag FRMS chat, and we will be checking to see if you're using that. Hashtags are going to help you segment content on this online. It's going to help you segment and pinpoint photos and videos and other content. So if you're looking for an easy way to see which hashtags are currently popular and trending, Tagboard is a platform that serves up a custom experience to the user regarding the hashtags of interest. So you can literally, if you go to Tagboard, pop in a hashtag that is something that you want to maybe research a little bit more, or a popularly used hashtag, and all the content all the posts, tweets, Facebook content, everything that allows you to utilize and understand a hashtag is going to show up when you pop in and click search. And this is really cool, because if you're just starting out with social, this is going to give you some insight on what hashtags to use in your own content. And speaking of hashtags, we want to know if your residents have community spirit. We're in this whole tailgate fever mood right now. You know, college football has just started. We are really showing our true colors as far as who we have alliance with when it comes to our alma maters, right? We are rooting for our teams. We might be creating some enemies because we have just come to realize maybe one of our coworkers likes a team that we cannot stand. Well, the same goes with this contest that we're running. So from September 23rd, which was just a few days ago, so it started just a few days ago, to October 22nd, so a month-long contest, your community and your residents will be eligible to enter the ForRent.com hashtag APT view, my apartment view Instagram contest. So we're running this contest on Instagram, and ForRent.com, ForRent Media Solutions, wants to see your community through the eyes of your residents. We want to see your community through the eyes of your residents with photos and videos of their apartment community, of where they live. Indoor and outdoor photos are welcome. We encourage them. And the community with the most photo and video entries, here's a little competition amongst yourselves. The community with the most photo and video entries will win a pizza party worth up to $500 for the entire community. So talk about cost savings, people. All you got to do is share the link that we're sharing with you right now and encourage your residents to share photos, indoor, outdoor, of where they live, videos, indoor, outdoor, of where they live. And this event will be covered for you for the winning property who has the most video and photo entries. Pizza party for you. And in the event where there might be a tie, a winner will be randomly selected. And here's how to sign up for your, here's how to sign up for your community. What we want you to do is fill out a short form to opt in, and we will be sharing the link with those of you who enter the chat now. So just be looking out on hashtag FRMS chat for that link. We're sharing it with you now. And check after you filled out the form to the link we're sharing with you, check your email and print out the flyer. And this is really important. Just pay attention to this. The flyer that we give you will have a unique hashtag specific to your community. And that's really important because it's going to customize this experience for you. Make sure you share that flyer with your residents and spread the word. So they'll be using hashtag APTView, and then they'll be using the hashtag that we give you custom to, specific to your community. And your residents will also be eligible to win up to $350, but wait, there's more, if they are chosen to be an individual winner. So not only does the community with the most content, video and photo content, get a pizza party, the resident who shares the most content will themselves be eligible to win $350. So encourage your residents to participate in the hashtag MyAPTView contest, My Apartment View contest, by reminding them to use your community's hashtag to win. So for complete contest details, be sure to visit our blog, blog.forrent.com, for more updates. And we wish you luck. We really hope that we see some content come in that's going to help your community win that pizza party. So moving right along, another social channel that's going to give you some cost savings here is Pinterest. And we're seeing Pinterest from big brands we're seeing brands, that are rather large use Pinterest to generate leads. And we're seeing pinners write captions with strategically placed keywords and hashtags. So Pinterest is a great way to engage in dialogue with other pinners and prospects and save money. Pinterest has also introduced a new side, which is Pinterest for Business. And this has been around for some time, but if you're new to this, you have access to learn the basics. So there are some case studies here. There are some basics in getting started. There are some goodies like web analytics from Pinterest, which are going, like Facebook, they're going to be a robust suite of analytics that will tell you down to the pinner, down to the engagement, down to the most clicked, the most repinned. What content on Pinterest is getting the most and highest level of engagement, which is really important. Analytics in Pinterest are especially useful when you're needing to track how many impressions your pinning activity is garnering, what type of activity or pins your pinners like. So Pinterest, just like Facebook Insights, Pinterest Analytics is I'm surprised it's a free product, to be quite honest, because it's extremely robust. And this is literally, you could export this information and serve it up to your boss or your higher ups and let them know that there are trackable metrics within the social space. Flipboard is a great marketing tool for finding relevant content. It's similar to almost like a virtual magazine, if you will. So when you're in need of fresh or timely content, you're going to want to go to Flipboard, and you can use that content to create a Facebook post to load into Facebook or into your FR social management dashboard. If you're a customer of ours and you're an FR Social expert customer, you know that with the social management dashboard, you can post your content into that dashboard and either have the option to send it in real time or schedule it out into the future. But you might not be quite sure what content to use or what content to talk about. So if you don't want to utilize any of our pre-written content we have available for you, go to an asset like Flipboard, see what's being discussed on topics such as art or automotive or sports. Inject yourself into the conversation and post that content, whether that be in real time or in the future. Bitly, which we've been sharing Bitly's this whole entire time, Bitly is a great tool that not only shortens your links, so this is going to help you keep your characters in check when you're on Twitter, which is really important, because if you have this forever long link, I mean, your tweet is completely eaten up, right? You only have 140 characters to tell a story. So Bitly is a great asset which is going to help you not only shorten your links, but it's going to offer some great analytics and some stats which allow you to see click counts for all your Bitly links saved for the last 30 days. So you'll see the total of number saved of Bitly's, and you'll also see the total clicks the link has generated. So the cool thing is, like, if you share this link, like we have this link bit.ly/stylish room, because we just recently ran a contest with our business to consumer blog. And if you share that link on, say, Facebook or Twitter or Google+, you'll see who on that platform clicked the link. So it's going to segment that link and those amount of clicks by social network. It's going to tell you how many clicks this link received. So the cool thing is, again, it's not only going to shorten your content for you, it's going to give you another robust set of analytics. So we've already talked about Facebook Insights, right? We've already talked about Pinterest Web Analytics. Now Bitly has its own set of analytics that you can serve up to your higher ups and let them know, knock, 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 social media is not, we're not just playing games here. This is kind of the direction that marketing is going, and there are some tangible results that you can get with social media. Who's heard of Woobox? I'm not quite sure if we've ever addressed Woobox before. Woobox is a service that varies from free to paid, and most of these do. I think that for the most part, Facebook and Pinterest are not paid, but I believe that Bitly, if you want to create custom links and whatnot, I think it's paid. I could be wrong, but Woobox definitely ranges as far as package offerings go. So the free version that you see here offers a surprisingly sleek amount of offerings. So I'm not quite sure why you would even want to go a step ahead, but Woobox is great regardless. And it's going to help you integrate, it's going to give you apps that help you integrate your Pinterest account or your Facebook app as well. So if you are on Pinterest you can actually use Woobox to create an app and load that to your Facebook page. So now people that are on your Facebook page can actually have a virtual look and look at what you're pinning within Pinterest without even going to Pinterest. They can stay in Facebook. So Woobox is extremely helpful. You can even upload your Instagram content, so whatever content you're sharing on Instagram, you can have an Instagram app using Woobox, Pinterest, YouTube. All this stuff is going to help you get better brand exposure for less money, for zero actually. So we have gone over how you can become a social media ninja. We've gone over some trends and techniques that you can utilize. We are now going to go over some of the things that you can do today to help implement and better save money, especially if you're thinking about 2014. Work smarter, not harder. Keep that catchphrase at the top of your mind because it's so true, especially in the social space. There's no excuse. You can work smarter and not harder, especially with the options of being able to post to one social platform and have that content go out to other social platforms with one click, especially with all of the offerings that are out there. You can work smarter, not harder, and what that does is it's going to keep the money in your marketing budget in your pocket. Another thing you can do is conduct an audit of your budget, like we talked about. Make sure your weaponry is on point. Make sure your budget and the product offerings and services that you have allotted for 2014 are going to give you a good ROI. If you are interested in learning more about the product services that we offer, utilize that bit.ly that we shared with you. I believe it was FRMS Discover, and you can learn a little bit more about that. Another thing you can do is compare your marketing costs against the benefits. So run a SWOT analysis. How many of us remember in college learning about SWOT analysis? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, threats, right? Do the same thing within your marketing budget and see what service and product offering is strengthening your marketing strategy. What is weakening your marketing strategy? What new and upcoming product and services will be an opportunity for you to utilize in 2014, and what is threatening your brand. So compare that and you'll be surprised as to what you uncover. And as always, tweak accordingly. This is a space where marketing and social media is moving so fast, you're going to have to tweak accordingly or you're going to get left behind. All right, considering that we've covered quite a bit, what we're going to do is share some valuable links with you. For the most part, I believe we have tweeted out all of the links to you, but in case we haven't, I'm going to see if it works this time and chat with you guys on the webinar some of the links that we have available to you. So I've just chatted those to you. If you're utilizing the chat box within GoToWebinar, if you are on I'm sorry, getting all my social networks mixed up. If you're on Twitter, we will have chatted and tweeted all of those links out to you. I'm going to stay on the screen for a moment so you can write things down if you're not on either. But these are some of the resources that are going to help you get your act together if you haven't and craft your marketing budget for 2014. So at this time, I am happy to take any questions you may have. I have seen some questions come in through the questions box. We've addressed those. If we have any questions on Twitter, I'm going to jump off of the webinar once we end things here, and I will answer your questions on Twitter. So just hold tight there because I will be coming in just a few moments. But in the meantime, while we have some more questions come in, I want you to check out any of our upcoming webinars. So feel free to visit the social media training calendar. It's updated monthly. And the link to that is, we're using a bit.ly again, bit.ly / social media training cal. and we've tweeted that out. I just shared it with you on GoToWebinar, but if you're writing it down, it's bit.ly/social media training CAL, no spaces. So feel free to check that out, and we will get you set up with our upcoming trainings for this October. Upon your exit of our webinar, we will have a quick list of questions for you that will ask you about the legal questions and hang-ups you face in the social space. How many of you, when you're tweeting or when you're on Instagram or on Facebook, question, am I doing something illegal, or is this completely kosher or legal? That's a complete legitimate question to ask yourself, because there is a lot of gray space within social media just because it's moving so fast, and we really don't, there's no handbook on what's right and what's wrong, okay? So that's okay to ask yourselves if you're doing things the right way. This is why I'm excited to share that next month, just a month from now, we will have Nadine Green joining us as a guest to talk about mitigating your social media risk. Nadine serves as senior legal counsel for ForRent Media Solutions, but you may know her as the Fair Housing Lady. We love Nadine in the multifamily industry. Her voice should be completely gone as much as she speaks, because everyone is in demand for her. So this questionnaire that you'll be receiving after you leave the webinar is crucial, because we want to provide you the answers that are frequently asked regarding this topic. So make sure you join us for that webinar next month. It is Thursday, October 24th at 3 p.m. And if you want to go ahead and sign up for the webinar, it's bit.ly/mitigate social risk webinar. So make sure you join us there, and we are excited for this webinar. We hope that you fill out this really quick questionnaire and give us some questions so that we can have something to talk about with Miss Nadine. We do not want to pass up this opportunity. So make sure you share that link with your friends. I will chat that. Thank you, Rachel. I will chat that link with you in just a moment for those of you who are getting your information via GoToPanel. Actually, let me do that right now so I don't forget. Social risk. Perfect. Alrighty, so I've sent that to you guys who are on GoTo. And now it's time to announce the winner of today's FRMS chat. So before we close, I want to announce the winner, and the winner is at MAYRAMTZ1537. So I believe it's Miriam TZ 1537, or it's Mayram TZ 1537. And if you're the winner, if you're still with us on the hashtag chat or the Twitter chat, congrats. We are so excited that you have participated with us, and in gratitude and in reciprocation of your participation, you will be receiving a gift card in the mail. So make sure you DM us, and if we're not following you, we will right now. Make sure you DM us for your info and direct message us and give us your mailing address, and we will pop your gift card in the mail. Well, with that, I am going to close the webinar, but before I do, I just want to thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. We hope you can find your inner social media ninja and find some unconventional ways to make your marketing dollars work harder for you so that you're thinking smarter. And make sure you follow and like us on our social channels. We absolutely love interacting with you. So with that, I'm going to close the webinar, and I appreciate your time, everyone. And on behalf of ForRent Media Solutions, have a great day and take care.